I thought we would start off with the beginning of that interview, conversation, really, with Alaska the Lost Boy. It's a pretty long one, so there's going to be a few different sections of it, put throughout the show tonight. We've got a pretty packed one for you today. It's going to be mostly, you know what? You'll just get to see. But what I wanted to start off talking about is that CCOT piece that got pulled from CBS because of Barry Weiss. Y'all, this is something that I and other people in, the rough leftist, whatever, media space have been trying to tell y'all for years. Media has been compromised, right? Mainstream media has been compromised. And all the stuff that folks have been trying to tell you, right? All the way back. I mean, like Malcolm X said, right? Let's call him by the name that he chose, actually. Malik Shabazz. That's the name that I would like to refer. We should all call people by the names that they want to be called, whether it's for gender reasons or whatever. Anyway, what did Malik Shabazz say? He said, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed, right? And loving the people doing the oppressing. And that's been true always. However, two things can be true at once and usually are. We are seeing, since CBS has been, the helm has been given to Barry Weiss, who is just, you want to talk about somebody who is a Zionist, who is just an absolute POS, like just dead ass, a bad person, who pushes the worst ideas, who is a stormtrooper for power, right? I mean, she is in her night era, right? But for the wrong purposes. And she's doing a great fucking job at it. And since CBS now is essentially a right-wing outlet, which one could argue it always was, right? Kind of always has been. But now it's just unalloyed, because even people in CBS were like, we vetted this, we vetted it with everyone. We vetted it time and time again. Everything in it is true. It is factual. It is real. It is happening. And the reason that they pulled it is a political one, not a factful one. I don't know if factful is a word, but we're going to go with it. The truth of the matter is that we should never have been trusting outlets like CBS, CNN, even though some shows on all those things were better than others, whatever. The truth is that control has always been there. And this is the reason that I have been, doing what I've been doing for the time that I've been doing it, is because this media space, the ability to bring news, information, art, whatever it is that we are bringing to you directly, that's what we're going to need to do in the future. Right? And it's why I always push back against the idea that, we don't need to do things online. No, sorry. This is just a part of our lives now, right? It's just a part of our lives. It's like, I'm sure people were saying that we shouldn't be using the telephone. We should be writing letters, or we shouldn't be using. Every time there is a meteoric advance in technology, people push back against it, sometimes for good reasons, sometimes because they just don't like it, or they prefer to talk to people face to face, which, sure, that's great. But if you're talking about being effective, you got to use media. And the reason that they are taking control of media is because it works. That's why people's minds are so into capitalism. That's why it's so hard it has been so hard to talk to people about certain things. Even people who otherwise, you would think would know better, right? Like all of these people like LGB without the T, goof balls, every one of them, right? Like as if you're not next on the menu, babes. Like what are you even thinking? But it's because they have been watching the news, thinking that they know what's going on when they've just been being lied to. But now it's totally a wrap. Because if you can't even get a story about it, it's fascism, right? It is. And yes, America has always been fascist since its inception, but things can get worse. Things can metastasize until they are unalloyed, until they are there is no escaping it. And that's where we are. And that's where we are. When even people like the people at CBS are like, yikes, we're being censored for political reasons. That we're here. And the only thing to do is to do more of the stuff we need to do to build alternative systems. And that means also news. That means other things like information. I have been saying you got to get rid of the EGOT, right? The Emmys, the Grammys, the Oscars, the Tonys. Stop aspiring to them. Stop watching them, right? They are the pageantry of empire, literally, right? It is just like play any sport you want, right? Enjoy sports, but the NFL, the NHL, the MLB, absolutely not. And I do not care that you have great memories of your family and of things in the past that are underpinning your desire to continue wanting to partake in those things. How you feel does not matter in a lot of important ways. And that's a thing that is usually said for toxic reasons. But when I say it, I mean, it's because what we need to do is not think about what we individually need, but what we need is a collective, what we all need, right? And what we all need is to create the systems that are going to catch people as they fall, whether that be ideologically falling from grace, or whether it be falling through the cracks monetarily, financially, right? Or just emotionally. Knowing how to point people to what their needs are, to get their needs met. That's the only answer we have. That and some things that you will not catch me saying on YouTube. Read between those lines. They are very big lines, very easy to read between. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to hop right into our show.